And now to the other big story we're following tonight as voters cast ballots for the second time this summer.
News 3 has a team of reporters covering the key contests tonight. Our focus first is on the lone statewide race, the Republican Senate primary. Mark Lovicott and Theo Keith are live with details on the candidates and that final push.
Political reporter Jessica Arp is in Waukesha with the Thompson campaign. She kicks off our team coverage.
Well, Thompson is clearly the most well-known name in the race with the most combined years in politics, and he's hoping those factors will propel him to a win in this four-way race tonight. Thompson voted this morning in the town of Blooming Grove. The former four-term governor is trying to make his re-entry into Wisconsin politics by winning this Senate seat after declining to run for Senate in 2010. Recent polling has showed him down by 2 in some polls, but the most recent Marquette poll, which includes both landline and cell phone voters, showed him up by 8 points on challenger Eric Hovde. Now, that same poll showed Thompson is by far the most well-known candidate, with 87% of those asked saying they knew him and 55% of those having a favorable impression. But challenger Eric Hovde has certainly made this a close race. That's where we find News 3's Theo Keith.
Well, Jess, good evening to you. Eric Hovde has staked his claim in this election to everything that Tommy Thompson isn't. He was a political unknown just 3 months ago. No political experience, so therefore no record to run on. But that's not to say that he doesn't have a record in this race. He says that his life as a businessman allows him to create jobs and also make the tough decisions to balance budgets in this climate that we have here. He voted in Shorewood at the crack of dawn this morning before he went off to campaigning in the Milwaukee area, making small stops throughout the day. His chief concern, though, is name recognition. It always has been in this race, and to that end, he's spent more than $5 million of his own money on TV ads, of course, to try to get his name out there. There are a number of distractions that have faced this race throughout the summer, including summer vacation, of course, but also the gubernatorial recall, and now just more recently the pick of Paul Ryan. And pollster Charles Franklin has told us that this race could really be a toss-up because of all of those distractions. One man who's just behind Eric Hovde in the latest Marquette law poll is Mark Newman, and our Mark Lovicott is with Newman tonight. Mark?
Hi, Theo. Yeah, we are in Brookfield outside Milwaukee, and we are here with the Newman campaign, where they are expecting and hoping to be celebrating a victory in just a few short hours. And so far, the campaign tells me they like what they're seeing with that conservative vote effort. The former congressman voted this morning, then spent the rest of the day campaigning and reaching out to his supporters to get them out to the polls. Turnout, we've learned, is pretty low today, and that's good news for the Newman campaign. Insiders saying a lower turnout would let that core conservative vote shine, those who traditionally support Newman. His campaign tells me they feel great going into tonight. They'll be closely watching Waukesha, Milwaukee, Dane, Brown, and Marathon counties, key areas that they need support in. To the Fitzgerald campaign now, considered the underdog in this race. His campaign, though, they tell me they're very optimistic about tonight. So much so, aside from voting, the Assembly Speaker kept a pretty low profile today. His campaign manager said Fitzgerald wanted to spend time with his family, as a victory tonight would mean he'll be away from them on the road campaigning until November. Recent polls don't jive with that optimism, but I'm told they're not looking at those polls. The campaign is looking at low voter turnout as a good thing. They're also watching key counties as the results start coming in after 8 o'clock tonight. And we will stay here with the Newman campaign tonight as the results come in, and we will have reaction from those numbers coming up later on tonight. Sarah and Eric, back to you.
All right, Mark Lovicott reporting from the campaign trail. Thanks, Mark.